Hey guys, in this month's Disney Rewind, we're going to be talking about Cars, released back in 2006. So, if you don't know what Cars is about, Cars follows Lightning McQueen, who is an arrogant race car, and one day on the way to a competition, he gets lost on the road and he kind of stumbles into this little small town, and it's here that he learns humility and also learns to be humble. And that's Cars. Stephanie, how'd you feel about Cars? This is the first of 3 Cars movies. And they're all very vastly different, I feel like.
They are.
I feel like they all kind of just tackle different things. Like, I feel like the mood and tone of them all just kind of fluctuates. But yeah, how'd you feel about this first one?
I have always enjoyed Cars. I really don't know why, I think. But I've always liked it. I like the story. I like the characters and animation and stuff. But it'll be the first time me and Stacie will be on opposite ends of a movie.
Cars is okay. It's okay, guys.
Well, Stacie, you always go, I hate that GD movie.
Cars is, I don't know, Cars is just not for me, you guys. I mean, it's very clearly targeted towards little boys and old people, for me. Is that a shame to say? That's how I've always felt about Cars. That it's targeted for little boys and little teenage boys and old people, because of this movie has a lot to do with like nostalgia for the good old days and whatnot. I don't know. This movie, Cars is okay for me. I can tolerate it. You know, I can tolerate it. It's just not my thing. I prefer. I don't know. I prefer the princess movies. You know, I prefer the princess movies. I don't know. I struggle to get through Cars because it's just too slow for me. Like this first movie especially, it's just too slow for me, and it just kind of, I don't know, it feels like it drags, and it's like 2 hours long.
I didn't realize it was 2 hours.
I kept looking at the time going, oh Lord, when is this thing gonna end? I mean, it has its moments. It has its moments that I like. There's elements that I do like, but I don't know, it feels just over long to me at points. I mean, I can understand the length of the movie though, because when you do sit and watch it from start to finish, I mean, it's like Incredibles, because Incredibles is also 2 hours long, and Cars it does need that frame of time to tell the story, or else Lightning McQueen's character shift by the end is just abrupt and it don't make no sense. You know, because he starts off very arrogant and cocky, and you need that progression through the movie for him to learn humility and what it is to be humble and whatnot, so that way you do appreciate that ending when he sacrifices his win to go, you know, rescue that other car who's in distress and whatnot. So, I mean, I understand elements of it. I mean, I think the story is fine. It's a great premise. I don't know. It's just the idea of cars, animated talking cars. I don't know. It's just weird to me. But I'll tolerate talking animals.
Talking animals is okay though.
Yeah, talking animals are okay. Talk about some hypocrisy there, but Stephanie, you're the one who loves this movie. Why don't you talk about it? What do you like about it?
No, I don't know why I like it. I just like it. I don't never know why I like something.
Well, you said you like the characters. Talk about the characters. What's great about the characters that you like?
Not that they're great. I'm just. I like that, though. You know, it is kind of a stereotypical movie. They've got each store in Radiator Springs has their own car, and it's very stereotypical. They have them like, you know, the hippie car, and
the cars are very much stereotypes.
The military Jeep, and they don't get along. The military Jeep and the hippie van.
Yeah, I like that one. And then they have poor Mater like he's an ignorant hillbilly. I like the characters. Okay, they are a bunch of stereotypes. If I had to pick a favorite car, I don't know. I for some reason I get a kick out of the really old cars. She's like, she's like
crazy.
The coach, the old fashioned coach cars or whatever, that's hilarious. And she's like ancient and what I really get a kick out of that one since I love old timey things. And then Mater, I like Mater to some degree, but he kind of gets on my nerves after a while.
He's too hillbilly.
He's too hillbilly for me. I do really like Lightning because, like I mentioned already, I like Lightning because he is an ass. Good God, he is a straight up jackass. When you're introduced to him at the beginning of the movie, it's kind of like, this is your hero. This is the hero you're supposed to be following. For a Disney movie, because he kind of stays that way for a good portion of the movie.
Yeah.
But when
more than half.
Yeah, he stays that way for a good portion until he kind of starts kind of thinking about things. I mean, it's almost like Woody. I almost think of Lightning almost like Woody to some extent, except I think Woody's a little bit more likable in that first Toy Story movie, because in that first Toy Story movie, Woody's a bit of an ass too, the way he's treating
he's like
Buzz.
He thinks he's like super important.
Yeah,
the only thing that exists.
Yeah, Lightning. You could very much compare him to Woody. I think with just being a straight up jackass. Yeah, he's kind of insufferable. Lightning's kind of insufferable for a good chunk of the movie. I kind of like that though. I like that Disney kind of was like, we're going to give you a hero that you're going to have to grow to like him because he's not the best of people. Best of cars. So I do really like his character journey. But yeah, it's like, good lord, the way he treats Mater initially, treating him like an idiot. And then it's like all of a sudden he turns around when he finds out that Hudson, Doc Hudson,
yeah, Doc Hudson,
that he's he was a former that he was a former race car, and it's like, oh wow, yeah, you know what my life is like and my lifestyle, like he immediately kind of does that flip, and then Doc Hudson ain't impressed, like, you stupid idiot, you don't know the meaning of anything.
Yeah, because they have his character, like he sees
himself. He sees himself, I think, in Lightning, and I think he hated that part of himself, and that's why he is the way he is now.
Yeah, because so that means he still keeps up to date with stuff, because like the minute Lightning showed up, he was mad. He was like, get out and leave, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he immediately didn't like Lightning.
I think he just didn't want to deal, with somebody like himself.
Yeah, because I think Doc Hudson, because we're seeing Doc Hudson as an old man now, an old car who's had time to reflect in his old age. But he's had time to reflect, whereas Lightning is still young and arrogant. So Doc Hudson kind of knows like where Lightning is right now. And he hates that part because that's what he used to be.
And
I think.
2 is supposed to be he got injured, and I think
because of foolishness. I think because of some sort of foolishness of some sort.
I can't remember what the paper said. If it was his fault or somebody else's fault.
But either.
He doesn't. I think too. He's in this random town because I don't think he wants to be found.
Yeah, he doesn't want celebrity.
He doesn't care about that lifestyle no more.
Because even Lightning walks into this little town and he has this thing of, oh man, I'm famous. And
nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, none of the cars know who he is.
But I love Luigi and what's the little guy's name?
The little car that's
the little one.
Yeah.
And I love that scene actually where they're like, oh, you're the famous race car, and he's like, yeah, and they're like, they said something about Ferraris, and he's like, no, I'm a different race car.
I think it's,
and then he's like,
I think it's like a bit of European snobbery there because they have Luigi like he's a European car. Because he has the
Formula 1 is probably the better.
Yeah, because he has the Italian accent, and I think what is it? Formula
1.
Yeah, that's kind of their thing over there in Europe. So I think he kind of has that arrogance, like, you American cars have nothing on our European cars.
The European things require more skill.
Yeah,
because you gotta do more maneuvering, whereas
and
Lightning's just going in a circle.
Speaking of just cars and race cars, I think that's kind of a part of the reason I've never just gotten into this movie. I'm not into NASCAR. We've lived in the South for a majority of our lives, and I just don't get the NASCAR. I don't get the NASCAR thing.
Like it.
I don't get the NASCAR thing, and I don't like it.
I mean, you don't think you have to like it to like Cars, because, I mean, that's only focused a little bit.
I know.
I mean, and then when you think about the second movie,
I know.
it's got nothing to do with NASCAR.
I know.
Third movie, I can't remember what the
But I like Cars 2, though. I'm
We're
going to
not
say
there
it
yet.
right now, guys. I like Cars 2. I know it's universally hated, but we'll get to that when we get to Cars 2.
4 years.
And, yeah, whenever that is.
But,
And I just don't get the thing of racing and just racing around in circles forever and ever and ever. It's like, oh my god.
I really like the animation though of it. I love how the cars look like what a person would look like. Like I love the mustaches, but they're not mustaches. They're
It's like their grills. Their grills look like a mustache.
I love
or
how
something.
there's little pieces on the car that they're able to just make it like something.
I do like the design of the cars because I think when I first heard about Disney doing cars and that they were going to be, given human characteristics, it's like, well, how do you do that? And it's like they use the windshield in a certain way to do the eyes, then they do certain things with the mouth, and they do certain things with just the shape of the car to let you know, like, this is a male car, this is a female car, kind of, yeah, how they would look as a person, just in car form.
And like nothing's outrageous looking. Like it moves it looks like a car, it moves like a car. There's no weird bending or
Yeah.
I think the most outrageous thing was at the beginning of the movie when all the cars smashed into each other and then
they weren't broken up.
Well, then Lightning, one was on its back, one was on its hood, and Lightning used that Lightning bounced, and he bounced on that car's wheels to bounce up over all the wreckage. That's really the only part of the movie that is
A little outrageous.
unbelievable.
Yeah, for the most part.
All of movie 2, though, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's funny that the first one's not like that.
Yeah, for the most part in this first movie, yeah, the cars do work like cars. Yeah, they don't move like weirdly. Like their wheels might kind of space out a little. Like,
yeah.
But the wheels are still attached, and yeah, I mean, they kind of. That's the only other thing, like, they should be damaged, like, whenever they do certain things, they should be technically damaged, like a real car, but, I mean, other than that, they do still move and function like a real car, because if you think about it, I mean, they never really kind of go, like, side to side, they either go forward or back, or in a circle or something,
I also love the Life is a Highway song by Rascal Flatts, because I just don't really like that song, but I only like it for that version from the Cars movie.
It does work really well in the movie. So, Stephanie, if you had to rank Cars on a scale of 1 to 10 Mickey years, what would you give it?
I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5 Cars?
Yeah.
I think I'll go... God, I guess a 7 for me, too. 7 for me with Cars. I know there's a lot of people that love Cars. A lot of people love this first movie. It's just not for me. Like I said, it just feels very heavily targeted towards little boys and old people. And I don't know. It just doesn't... It wasn't my thing. So, Stephanie, any final words? Anything? We like Cars. Well, I think Stephanie likes it more than me, even though we have the same rating, which is weird. But,
7.5.
Yeah. So, you guys, in the comments below, how do you guys feel about the first Cars movie? Remember, we're just talking about Cars 1. We'll talk about the others when we get to it. Do you like the first Cars movie? Do you not? Do you think I'm weird? So, is that it? That's it. That's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye, guys.